What's up, guys? You're welcome to the Clarion right here on YouTube. This is the second part of the select color range video. If you've not seen the first part already, make sure to check it out, leave a like and subscribe to this channel. That said, let's jump right into Photoshop. So there's something you can do with layer masks by holding down Alt and then clicking on the layer mask itself. It will take you to the grayscale preview that we had previously. And now to perfect our mask, to make sure that everything that should be hidden and everything that should be revealed should be revealed, I want you to press B on your keyboard, which is the shortcut for the brush tool. Try and increase the size a little, and with your blending mode of the brush set to overlay, make sure your foreground color is set to black. You can toggle between your foreground and your background colors by pressing X on your keyboard, right there. Or if you want to reset it, you can press D on your keyboard also. So go ahead, make sure your foreground color is black. You could make it white and then paint on the white, or I choose to start with the black first. Then make sure that your opacity is set to 100%, your flow is at 100% also. Then begin to paint over these parts that seem to have grays. These ones are unwanted parts, so you click and drag over those areas you don't want. And wow, look, I just dragged over a white spot. I just dragged over a selection, but nothing happened. Yes, that's one of the benefits of the overlay mode in creating selections and masks. Is absolutely wonderful. Just look at this. We drag over them and nothing happens. That's basically because in the overlay blend mode, everything in it just highlights what is white and makes sure that what is black is also really vivid. It's also brought out so strong. All right, so that's it. Now we switch over to the white and we paint on the white to make sure that if there are any black dots within the white, it is catered for, just like this. So we click and drag, so space bar, then we click and drag to pan. All right, now we drag over the shoelace and you can see that there are certain aspects of the shoelace with some black spots that do not clear even when we are doing the brushing over them. So reduce your brush size, zoom in further, pan to whichever one you want, reduce the brush size further, and then change your blend mode to normal. Now you can just brush over those areas. You should absolutely take your time because you are practicing. You need to build a skill. All right, you can do it. You can do this. All right, so you should take your time. In a real project, I take much more time than this, but I don't want the tutorial to be longer than you can bear. All right, so just do it quickly. And we'll be out of here. All right, so the trick I showed you, Control-0 to zoom out. All right, so I think we're having a mask here which is pretty decent. So to get out of this grayscale mode, just click anywhere, or you could just hold down Alt and click on the same layer mask. All right, so as beginners, as graphic designers, we want to make sure that everything we are doing is exact and is perfect. So we want to check out how our mask will look on a background, and a very great way to do it is to go into the select and mask workspace. You may not see it here because you need to head up to Windows, come down to properties, and then scroll down to select a mask. well, you must make sure that your mask is selected before this will appear. So now click once on select a mask, and in this select a mask workspace we have a number of preview modes. And well, I like working with on black usually because it makes me see what I am really doing, whether some parts of my background are attached to my image or not. Like in this little area here, in this little areas here, where you can see that some parts of our background are right here. So just select your brush tool, and with your minus selected, make sure you are very meticulous about this. Well, I think make sure your brush is quite hard. Now you can just paint over these areas to take them out. Remember, black conceals, so we are removing these ones from the selection. We are removing these parts from the selection. All right, now Control 0 or Command 0 on the Mac. Now let's set our opacity to 100%. Now let's check out our original. Yeah, so that's way better than previously. So let's come down. We'll add a bit of radius. To this to also reduce the jaggedness of our edges. So take a look right here. Just take a look at this. Let's toggle before and after. So let's show the original. This was the original, and this is after we applied the edges, after we applied the radius, sorry. So let's reduce it. Let's bring it back to 0. Look at this. Now let's take it to 2. It's looking way better already. So this is how to refine your selections. All right, so now we add a little smoothness to it. Our selection is not too bad, so we don't need to do much in this select and mask workspace. It's a really wonderful workspace for all your selections. You should make sure you try and get them into this space because it does wonders. I don't want to feather in this particular instance. We add a little contrast so that the edges really look crisp and sharp. All right, so I don't want to shift any edges. If you shift edge, it basically means that some parts of the selection is drawn inwards. I really don't know if you get me, but I have to show it to you. So the more you shift the edge around which the selection was done gets smaller and smaller. Yeah, so let's just take a closer look at what is going on over here. So because the selection was quite perfect, the shift edge isn't so drastic. It's not so drastic. So our image is loads and loads better than it actually came into this workspace. So this demonstrates how powerful the select and mask workspace is to your workflow. And as a beginner who wants to become really good at this is a workspace you shouldn't joke with. All right, so let's just output it to, there are certain output options. You have a selection, basically the one with the matching and those black and white things moving around there, the subjects we selected. But in this tutorial, I just want us to select new layer with a layer mask, then click OK. And we're pretty much done. Just to confirm what we've done, let's go to add new fill or adjustment layer, and we'll add a solid color fill. Let's set it to something blue, something nice, and just click OK. Now let's drag it below this layer to reveal what is on top. Sorry. Now we can see that our selection is really good, and there are no edges around it which are originally from our background, and this is a really good selection. This is how any pro would have done it. So congratulations to you, you are getting better at Photoshop. I knew you could do it. Alright guys, all too soon we have come to the end of a wonderful tutorial. I want you to drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already, and I'll be uploading content like this weekly. Make sure you stay glued to this channel for updates. In the next video, we are going to be looking at practical applications of the select color range workspace, how you can use it to change colors in certain images to make them look more catchy, make them look punchier than they used to be. All right, so that said, see you next time.